Doug.
Limu and I always tell you to customize your car insurance and save hundreds with Liberty Mutual. But now, we want you to feel it. Cue the emu music, Limu.
Save yourself money today. Increase your wealth. Customize and save, we say.
That may have been too much feeling.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Savings vary. Underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates. Excludes Massachusetts.
Hello and welcome to the Paddock and the Pavilion, the podcast that loves to share inspiring stories from the worlds of horse racing and cricket. In this episode, we are looking ahead to something special at Chepstow Racecourse, the very first Heroes Gallop for Autism in Racing. I'm joined by Bobby Beevers, founder of Autism in Racing, to talk about this fundraising race on Thursday the 14th of August, which aims to raise £30,000 to support the organisation's work with autistic people in horse racing. Bobby explains why he set up Autism in Racing and how the organisation encourages and supports people with autism to enjoy horse racing, whether as a spectator or as an employee in the sport. You will also hear from Jane Buick, wife of leading flat jockey William Buick, Luke Admans, General Manager at Chepstow Racecourse, David Lovell, co-founder of DragonBet, who are sponsoring the event, and Irish jockey Stephen Hunter, one of the riders in the 1 mile race. Hello, Bobby. I'm really pleased to speak to you, the founder of Autism in Racing, about the Autism in Racing charity race day at Chepstow on August the 14th.
Yeah, nice to talk to you too, Stephen. Very exciting times ahead with our Heroes Gallop for Autism in Racing, which is, as you say, taking part next Thursday at Chepstow. It's the first one we've done. I'd like to think it's the first of many. We have 7 riders competing in the race. 5 of those are ex-jockeys as well, which is absolutely fantastic that they're all getting involved in supporting autism in racing. We've got the 7 horses, so a huge thank you as well to the trainers who were supporting and the owners. Also, it's very important that they get behind us. Also, because if we didn't have the trainers supporting, we'd have no horses. It turned into a jog over the mile as opposed to an actual horse race itself. But very much looking forward to it, as you say, happening on Thursday, the 14th of August at Chepstow. And just to reiterate, I hope it is the first of many to come for Autism in Racing.
That's good to hear, Bobby. And in this podcast, we're going to be hearing from one of the jockeys, Stephen Hunter. But I'd like to take you back a bit. When did Autism in Racing begin and how did it all start?
So it came about during the first lockdown back in 2020. It was when my daughter, Sophia, was first diagnosed with autism. And my wife said to me at the time that she'd love to make everything more accessible for people who are autistic. And that's when I thought at the time that horse racing could do something and really step up to the mark. So what I did is I approached the then chair of the BHA at the time, a lady called Anna-Marie Phelps, said to her, look, I've got this idea. This is what I think we could do. This is what I think the industry can do as well. And it all stemmed from there, really. So we had meetings. I got the backing at the time of Racing Together and the RCA, and we did a trial period, a trial year, which was in 2021, where we did autism-friendly days at 3 racecourses. In turn, they did 2 days each. That was Doncaster, Haydock, and Musselburgh. Also, fast forward to where we are now, and we've got over 75 race days throughout the year. We're working with a lot of, autism charities and autism groups. We've partnered up with a lot of, organisations within the industry and outside of the industry as well, which is absolutely fantastic. And it's just literally going from strength to strength. And the bottom line is, we are giving, people who are autistic, whether you're 7 years old or you're 77 years old, the opportunity to enjoy the sport, to be able to come racing in a safe and supportive atmosphere. And also, which launched earlier on this year, We have the Autism Racing Mentoring Program, where we are working with autistic individuals who would like a career within the sport. Very pleased to say that's really taking some shape now. And we are working with these people, and we're getting them work experience. We're finding them work, and we're working with a lot of people within the industry to, to help them and support them, and ultimately, should I say, get them work, which is what they want.
Because autistic people work very well with animals.
Yeah, obviously they say that that is the case. It's all about, like, obviously in this case it's equine therapy, which really helps, and we've seen that numerous times, especially when we've done visits to to trainers' yards, etc. We've seen like the power of the horse and how it can be really soothing and help people with emotions and that, and that's to be honest with you, I think equine therapy is one of the most underrated things for people who are autistic and have additional needs, because it's such an incredible thing, and it really helps people as well. And we've actually seen that hands on with the power of the horse and how they are helping people who are autistic, which is absolutely brilliant. So yeah, equine therapy, very beneficial for people who are autistic and have additional needs.
Bobby, for important background for listeners, can you let me know more about autism in the UK, the diagnosis and the numbers?
Yeah, it's obviously, autism in terms of diagnosis, it's going up all the time. And I think the reason why is because a lot of adults, and I'm one of these adults, by the way, who are getting diagnosed later on in life, because, people are saying that, when they was at school and in education, the awareness wasn't there at the time, and it was very different to what it is now, really. So the diagnosis is going up all the time. Adults are getting diagnosed with autism. Obviously, the awareness is much more better now within education, so it's being recognised by teachers, etc., etc. Really, what is a bit of a frightening stat though, is that under 30% of autistic individuals are in some kind of work, whether that be full time, part time, or freelancing, whatever that may be, which is quite a frightening stat, really, to be fair. So I'm kind of hoping that the mentoring program can definitely help with that. Obviously, we need to be realistic. It's not going to increase that percentage, to like 40, 50, 60%, even though we'd love it to. It would be absolutely brilliant if that could happen. But I do think we can play a part in increasing that percentage. And with the more people that are coming to us saying, look, I'm autistic and I'd love to do this within racing, it's up to us to support that and make that happen. But I do believe that, autism racing can contribute to that national statistic, definitely get the percentage up, and hopefully we can, work with people continuously, indefinitely as well, and help people find the work.
That must then be one of the key aims of autism in racing.
Yeah, so there's quite a lot of aspects to autism racing. I've always said this. One is the autism friendly days. That's at race courses. It's trainers' yards as well, when we do the visits to the stables, etc. We've partnered up this year with National Stud, so we'll be heading to National Stud for an autism friendly day out there as well. We're doing a couple during the 6 weeks holidays during the summer period, if you like. So obviously the autism friendly days are a key aspect to autism racing. One is employment. I've said that from the start. I've already mentioned it in the podcast now, and there's plans for employment. And then the other one is education and awareness. This is done through workshops that we like to do for different groups and organisations and race courses, etc. So the three main aspects for autism racing are autism friendly days, it's employment and education.
Thank you very much for that, Bobby. I think it's time for our first guest, Jane Buick, wife of leading jockey William Buick. And I met Jane at Newmarket races at one of the Autism in Racing days on Saturday the 2nd of August, and this is what Jane had to say. Jane, what difference do the sensory rooms make to autistic children at the races?
It makes a really big difference, especially on a busy day like here at Newmarket. They can escape. We're currently outside the BT immersive room, and we've got 2 families in there at the moment, and they are letting off steam. They're using the space however they want, and just really interacting with the sensory area. They can play games where they can kind of splat things, catch balls, or they can do colouring, and it just really is an amazing space to be able to provide for families, just to break up the day and get out of the hustle and bustle. And equally, we've got a really wonderful room upstairs here today, which does house lift access as well. Which is directly onto the racecourse, so the families can have a cup of tea, coffee, bring food up, and enjoy the day racing with a bit of colouring and some of us, sensory equipment for the children to play with, while also being able to see the racetrack and the action on the course.
And these sensory rooms this immersive rooms going all around the country.
Yeah, so we're really lucky, and the more the more we're kind of being recognised. And the more support we're getting, we're being able to provide this BT immersive room at basically all of our race meetings, which is incredible. It's it's a brilliant asset, and it's it can be used in so many multiple ways, and educationally as well. So it's really a special thing that we're able to provide this. But equally, it's amazing when the racecourses do give us wonderful spaces where we can get multiple families in and let them relax, let them go and explore the racecourse and know they've got somewhere to come back to just chill out and, regain some composure.
I've just been in the room and speaking to Dominic Platt. He's got a busy job driving the immersive van about, hasn't he?
Yes, he does, yeah. So he's here today, he's at Chester tomorrow. He goes to all the Pontefract meetings and he's obviously going up to Chepstow, so we do really keep him really busy.
And how pleased have you personally been on the progress made by the Autism in Racing campaign, really?
So pleased. It's been amazing to get so many support from different racecourses, and equally some of those racecourses are now offering all their meetings autism friendly, which is just incredible. And what we want to do, really. They can see that it's worthwhile doing this. They can see that families are coming back, each meeting and enjoying it and bringing their friends and bringing grandparents. And, they're spending the money. They're getting involved in racing. They're enjoying the racing. And yeah, it's just absolutely brilliant. And we'd encourage more racecourses to put more permanent sensory rooms in. That's what we'd love to see. Up and down the country, that would be the best outcome.
And you're getting great feedback from the parents and the children.
Yeah, amazing feedback from the parents and the children. And, when you think about racing, it has everything. It has the numbers. It has the beautiful silks. It has the animals. It has the amazing racehorses that, the children and the families, they love seeing them. They appreciate them probably on a different level to us, a more sensory level and a more in-depth level. They see far more things than we ever see. So, it's just brilliant to be able to offer this for families and to get different people involved and interested and, loving our sport.
Jane is doing some incredible work, Bobby.
Yeah, Jane's been fantastic since she joined Autism in Racing. And not forgetting as well, her husband, Will Buick, he's our official ambassador. And he was the first ambassador as well. I approached him a couple of years ago and said, would you like to be ambassador for Autism in Racing? And he absolutely jumped at the chance. He went, absolutely, if there's anything I can do to help and support, I'm absolutely there. And Jane's on board now. She's one of my hosts for Autism in Racing. She does a lot of work at Newmarket. She hosts the day, as you saw, at Newmarket on the Saturday just gone. She was also behind organising and coordinating the partnership with the British Racing School and Newmarket Pony Academy, where we offered autistic children the chance to go pony riding, really, which was a huge success. So she does a lot of work in Newmarket for for autism racing. And obviously at the same time, we're very grateful to have her and Will on board and supporting autism racing.
I witnessed the immersive room firsthand at Newmarket. What an incredible facility that is.
Yeah, it certainly is. It's something which is very interactive. Obviously, as people go in, they really like the interactive wall where you can play games on it and that and everything. And I'll be honest with you, I think the adults enjoy it as much as the as much as the children. But it's a great relationship we've got with immersive. When we say to the racecourses, we provide a mobile sensory unit. It's immersive who attend. And they offer something incredible for people, and it's something like that what makes such a difference to their day. Because I always say, we are, organised these days so you can enjoy the sport in a safe and supportive environment, and we get a lot of positive feedback in regards to, immersive and how much fun and how it helps the people on the day as well, which is absolutely brilliant. And obviously, what we wanted at the same time. Really. So it's fantastic that we work very closely with immersive. And then when we have, the families turn around and say to us that if it wasn't for autism racing, we would never have been able to enjoy a day out at the races. So thank you very much for giving us that opportunity and that option to be able to do it. And then we did have the one I always use as an example is there was a father who said that when he was younger, he used to go racing with his dad, and he always wanted, to go racing with his children. He'd never been able to because both his children are autistic. But now, autism racing is here and organising and planning the days. He can now enjoy horse racing with his children like he did with his dad, basically. So it's stories like that that make it all the worthwhile in terms of what we're doing and what we want to achieve. And that is a perfect example.
And the immersive room is also educational as well.
Yeah, very educational. Obviously, you can do like your maths games and stuff and everything. And I do know when they're not with us that they are doing. I think they go to like schools, colleges, and that, etc. So it's very unique because it's not just a sensory unit. It's used for a variety of different things, which is absolutely brilliant. But obviously, when it is on course with us, it's used as a sensory unit, and people benefit and enjoy being in there, and it does help to regulate emotion for people as well.
I must give a shout out to Dominic Platt, who are driving the immersive bus.
Yeah, Dominic is a great lad. He basically travels the length and breadth of the country with the sensory unit. He's the driver for the immersive, and he'll drive down to Brighton. He'll drive up to Newcastle as well. And then when he's got there, he needs to set it up and get everything right and work it. Obviously, pack it up at the end of the day and drive home. So yeah, Dom, he gets a lot of mileage out of us. But the good thing about Dom is that he doesn't mind, because he knows that even though he's travelling the length and breadth of the country, he knows that people are going to come racing and enjoy it really. Yeah, Dom is a great lad who works very hard for us.
Yes, the next day after Newmarket, he was leaving at 4 a.m. for Chepstow races.
Yeah, so he's at Newmarket. So I can tell you the background with that. So he drove down during all the Friday traffic down to Newmarket from where he lives. He stayed overnight at Newmarket. Did the full day at Newmarket. Stayed overnight again at Newmarket, and then he travelled from Suffolk across and up to Chester on Sunday. And I believe, if I've got this right, he was on the road, I believe, for 4:45 in the morning. So even though he did stay overnight at Newmarket, I'm guessing he only had, a few hours sleep, I would imagine, because he had to be up and off and get to Chester. But Chester's not too far away from where he lives, which I know is irrelevant. But that just shows the true grit and determination really, that he went from Newmarket to Chester because he didn't want to let anybody down.
Let's talk a bit more about Thursday, the 14th of August, and Autism in Racing's first charity fundraising race at Chepstow, starting with Luke Admans, the General Manager at Chepstow Racecourse. Hello, Luke. Thanks for joining me to let us know all about the Autism in Racing race day on Thursday, the 14th of August at Chepstow.
No worries. Happy to be here.
Firstly, how did the event come about and what have you got planned for the day?
So Bobby reached out to us, Bobby Beevers from Autism in Racing, and he obviously does a lot of work with autism in racing and trying to make racecourses as accessible for people that suffer with autism. And obviously we're very keen to be a part of that. So in conjunction with him, we've launched this day. It's really sort of about trying to make the racecourse as accessible as possible. So we'll have some sort of, Bobby will bring in a sensory unit and we'll have sort of a quiet zone area that will help facilitate sort of customers' needs and everything. And then we'll have the sort of charity race that will be run before racing, which looks fantastic. Some really good former talented riders that will be racing in that, so that will be fantastic. And then we'll move on with a standard sort of 6 race card.
Yeah, I've spoken to Stephen Hunter, one of the jockeys, and we'll be hearing him in this podcast. How many jockeys have you got, and what time will the charity race take place?
7 jockeys, I believe, now that have signed up, and we should be kicking off that charity race around about 2:00.
And you're looking to raise about 30,000 from sponsorship and donations for the race.
Yeah, that's very much the plan, but that is within sort of Bobby and Autism and Racing. That's their target. That's their sort of sponsorship aim that they're looking for, and obviously anything we can do to facilitate that. We've put them in touch with Dragon Bet, and Dragon Bet are kindly sponsoring the charity race, as well as sponsoring another few races on the card. So yes, hopefully raise as much money as possible. That's the aim.
I've spoken to Dave Lavelle, the co-founder of Dragon Bet, who are sponsoring the day.
Yes, yeah. So they're taking 3 of the 6 races as well as the charity race, and they'll be headline sponsor of the day. Yeah.
You mentioned about support on the day for people with autism. What can you tell us about that?
So Bobby will be bringing in his sensory unit. So as you sort of enter the unit, there'll be all sort of types of, it'll be a quiet space, mainly to get away from some of the loud noise in and around the parade ring, and just to make those customers with additional needs feel a bit more comfortable, and feel comfortable in a setting that they're happy with, and nothing that's going to trigger anything that's going to make them uncomfortable.
Have Chepstow done this sort of thing before and been involved with autism in racing?
No, not in this way. We've had sort of a quiet zone on a couple of race days, more on request, I would say. We did something last year for our October meeting, but yeah, look, we think probably it's something that we'd like to do moving forward as much as we possibly can. This day sort of specifically focuses in on it a bit more. Obviously, we pride ourselves on trying to be as accessible as possible as a racecourse to everyone. And if this is a requirement and a need that we think our customers need, then obviously we'll look at it on a more permanent basis as and when we can.
That's very good to hear. And how can people and listeners support the fundraising appeal?
So there's a donation link on our website, and that will also be shared on our social pages in the lead up to the event.
That's good. I can put the bio in the podcast bio. I can put the website address for Chepstow Racecourse. To end, you must be really looking forward to being the first racecourse to hold a fundraising charity day in support of autism in racing.
Yeah, I think Bobby does some fantastic work. It's a great charity it's a charity that a lot of people are really close to. A lot of people have family members or friends that suffer from autism, and I personally have some as well, and I know that it can be really challenging, particularly for families trying to take young children with autism into sporting venues that, there is naturally a lot of noise and a lot of activity going on, and sometimes that can be really unsettling. So anything that we can do to try and give those customers a safe space and give them a space that they feel comfortable in, and it's got everything they need and require for the day, and then they can enjoy the day as much as they possibly can, then look, we're all for it. We're keen to support that.
Well, thank you very much, Luke, for joining me on the Paddock and the Pavilion, and the very best of luck for the Autism in Racing Day and the Heroes Gallop on Thursday, the 14th of August.
Thank you very much.
Lots of positive news there from Luke at Chepstow Racecourse.
Yeah, very positive. Obviously, they're as excited as delighted that we are to be there and to host an autism friendly day on top of the added bonus of the Heroes Gallop for autism in racing. I've never been to Chepstow before, so I'm very much looking forward to heading down there. I'm sure it'll be a fantastic day. And I hope it's the first of many in more than one way. One, I hope we do plenty more Heroes Gallops for autism in racing, plenty more races. And at the same time, I hope we can continue to work very closely with Chepstow to offer more autism-friendly days, throughout 25 and beyond, really.
I thought you racing commentators had been to all the racecourses.
Oh, yeah. There's still quite a few, There's still quite a few that I need to get to. I think I'm going at a snail pace, to be honest with you. I know there's people out there who have done them all. I think they do it in, I think they set themselves a target, don't they, to do it in a period of time. But I'm very much going with the flow. I think I'm saying before 65, I hope to have done all the British and probably the Irish ones as well, really. So that's going to be my target, I think. But very much going at a stale pace, and I suppose as well, it's finding the time to be able to do it also.
You're not doing it as quick as Tom Dunlop in Tom's big bike ride, going around all 60 courses in about a month.
No. I think fair play to Tom. It's absolutely fantastic what he's doing, and I hope he, does it well, and I hope he achieves what he set out to achieve. But all 60 race courses in a month, that's a fantastic achievement for me. It's all 60 race courses in about 300 months, to be honest with you. So yeah, bit slower for me.
You'll get more than you expect with McValue at McDonald's. Like deals on your late night go-tos when the party goes till dawn. And savings on their faves. So date night always passes the vibe check. Plus, when the fam shows up for the weekend, you can show out for breakfast.
Buy one breakfast sandwich, add one for $1. Only in the app. Limited time only at participating McDonald's. Valid once a day. Must opt into rewards. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Life is a workout, and Smoothie King is here to help you power through. Whether you're grinding out bicep curls or muscling the couch across the living room, crushing morning miles, or sprinting through back-to-back meetings, Smoothie King has fuel to help you maximize your workouts, own your recovery, and elevate your game. Give your body the energy, protein, and power it needs with a lineup of delicious smoothies made to help you conquer your goals. Only at Smoothie King.
As Luke said, the charity race is sponsored by DragonBet, and I spoke to David Lovell, their co-founder. Let's hear from him now. David, how and more importantly, why has DragonBet got involved with the Heroes Gallop for Autism in Racing charity race at Chepstow on Thursday, the 14th of August?
Hi, Stephen. So I came across Autism in Racing a few months ago.
It was a charity that instantly resonated with me specifically. My son, Freddie, was diagnosed with ASD or autism when he was 3 years old. And then also, my working life has been in and around horse racing. So my father was a bookmaker. My brother and I now run and own Dragon Bet. So we've been in and around betting and specifically horse racing all our lives. So for obvious reasons, the combination of a charity contributing to autism and also horse racing made plenty of sense and resonated with me personally.
Yes, sounds like a perfect combination for yourself, Dragon Bet, and your son, Freddie.
Yes.
You really have a personal interest in autism and what autism in racing are doing.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, there's plenty of research out there that shows the benefits to autistic children being in and around racehorses. Combined with that, the opportunity to take Freddie racing for the first time is something which really excites us, and also the opportunities for other children as well. We've wanted to take Freddie racing for a long time, but unfortunately never been the right environment for him. Over the moon, really, that Freddie gets this opportunity through Autism in Racing on August the 14th. The inclusion of the sensory room, we hope will really make a difference. I mean, both Freddie and the wider family can really enjoy the day.
That's going to be a really special day for you to be able to take Freddie to the races.
Yeah, it really is. Like we've been, we as a family, we've been racing lots. Unfortunately, haven't been able to take Freddie since he was very young. Can't tell you how excited both me and my wife are, and the wider family. Freddie has 3 lovely siblings as well. How excited they all are to take Freddie racing for the first time. Sure he'll love it, and really appreciative of the work that Autism and Racing are doing to enable that, really.
And through the work of Bobby Beevers, this is happening all around the country.
Yeah, fantastic. Amazing what Bobby's managed to do. This specific meeting is ideal for us. It's Chepstow, which is our local track. So we kind of grew up in and around the betting rings there, and it's not too distant from our home in Cardiff. So yeah, perfect opportunity for us in this instance. But look forward to hopefully attending future meetings across the country as well.
Let's hope Autism in Racing can raise 30,000 through sponsorship and donations, and through the support of Dragon Bet on the day. Yeah,
look, we're delighted to play a small part in that, and we'll do hopefully support the day. It's a great sum of money, right? And great work from Autism and Racing to be able to aspire to race so much.
Well, thank you very much for joining me, David, and I hope you have a fantastic day with Freddie and the family on the 14th of August.
Thanks, Stephen. I'm sure we will. We're really looking forward to it.
Hearing David must be very satisfying for you, Bobby.
Yeah, David's a great guy. He actually reached out to me about a year ago now, I think it was. Said, can we jump on a quick call and have a quick chat? I says, yeah, absolutely. And he explained, obviously, with his own family. And he said, if there's anything we can do to get involved and help, we'd be absolutely delighted to. And I says, yeah, so let's keep talking. Let's see where we're at. And then when we was having the day on Thursday at Chepstow, an autism-friendly day, it was the perfect opportunity to reach back out to David, ask him, one, invite him to the day, but secondly, would he be willing to support, which he did, and he's very kindly sponsored the race. So it's absolutely brilliant to be working with him. He's a great guy. Similar to myself, he wants the best, for his children, just like I do, and it's wonderful that he is supporting us, and very much looking forward to seeing him and his family on the day.
Yes, I'm sure Freddie will have a special day on the 14th of August.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. There's we've had it quite a few times where there is anxiety that goes because you're not too sure of the day. So we provide like the social stories so people can see and have a look at what the course looks like and what it's all about. And I think for Freddie in particular and others as well, the fact that we have got a quiet room with sensory equipment, and the fact that we have got immersive with us there with their sensory unit. Between the two, it really helps, and it's really beneficial. So I'm sure, Freddie and his family will have a magical day on Thursday.
No charity race day is possible without the trainers, as you mentioned, Bobby, and the jockeys. And I was delighted to speak to one of the jockeys, Irishman Stephen Hunter, and this is what he had to say. Hello, Stephen. Thanks for joining me to talk about the Heroes Gallop for Autism in Racing fundraising ride on the 14th of August at Chepstow. How is training going for you?
Training is going very well. I'm back riding out there since I was asked to do it maybe 6 or 7 weeks ago there, or maybe a little bit longer. I'm riding out in Shane Duffy's there, which is a real good friend of mine. I would have spent a lot of time with Shane when I was a young lad starting off, and up through the years I worked in Mick Halford's with Shane, and Shane has around 24 or 5 horses himself, and I ride out 4 or 5 bits. I ride out 4 or 5 lots every day in Shane's before I tip over to my boss's yard here, Ronan Tynan in Johnstown. But I ride a lot of work with Shane, and running. I do a lot of running, a lot of gym work to try and get myself as strong and as fit as I can, because you can't be half fit, especially when you're race riding. You don't realise how fit some of them jockeys are. They're unbelievable how fit they are. But yeah, everything is going well, and I'm really enjoying it. And it was a pleasure to get to ask to ride in this race, because not just am I just riding in Chepstow, I'm actually on the verge of getting back my amateur flat license, so I'm going riding in the next couple of weeks on the flat again, and a few amateur flat races and a few bumpers. So it's really got me back into the spirit of racing,
Oh, that's great to hear. Most importantly, why have you decided to support the Autism in Racing Day at Chepstow?
Well, I have a stepson and he's autistic, and when I got the call to ride in it, I was absolutely over the moon. It's for a great cause and great charity, and it was a privilege to ride in it.
You obviously are close to autism with your stepson.
I am 100%. He's so intelligent. It's actually scary, But it's a close one to my heart, And I have another girl that I work with here, and her son is the same, and it's great, And she's great around the yard as well, and it's amazing too when they're around the horses, the comfort that they get from them,
So you're working with someone who has got autism, and working with horses really makes a difference.
It does. It's just, I just seen him when, like, we have an old dog at home and stuff. Just whatever it is with autistic people around animals, it just keeps their mind at bay and keeps them happy and keeps them just relaxed and calm, and it's great. And horses are the very same. Horses can sense all these things.
Just going back to your race riding, wanted to mention the fact that you rode Fame and Glory for Aidan O'Brien, and you've got a 100% record for Aidan. Is that right?
I do, yeah. Well, I'd given up racing, and I went back down. I went down to Aidan's, and I was down there about a year, and riding loads of work and riding plenty of work and sitting on plenty of good horses. And he came up to me one day and he says to me, "Will you go to Killarney?" And I says, "What do you want me to go down to Killarney for?" And he says, "We have a filly got in there, a first reserve. Would you go down and ride her?" And I says, "I've no license, or I don't even know what weight I am. I've no racing gear." And Aidan been Aidan, he says, "Stephen, you're not listening to what I'm saying to you, Stephen, are you?" He says, "Will you go down and ride her?" I says, "By God, if I can go down and ride her, I'd be over the moon to her." So I went on and rode her, a 3-year-old filly called Jane Austen, and she won. And I went on then and rode another 2-year-old and won at him in Dundalk, and sat on Fame and Glory then in Navan, and he won. And I won in another 3-year-old maiden in Dundalk, and that won. So I'd 4 from 4, yeah.
There's no one else who can claim that, I shouldn't think.
Sure, look, when you're riding them quality of horses, it makes it easy. You just have to steer them around, but still, they still have to be steered, as the man says.
Yeah, I checked up. You rode Fame and Glory in October 2008 as a 2-year-old. It was his first run. You won,
Yeah,
obviously, in the race. And he went on to win the Irish Derby, the Coronation Cup, the Ascot Gold Cup, and was second in the Derby. But he was second to see the stars.
he was second. He's probably a very unfortunate horse to meet see the stars. Like, I think he was second from 4 times. He was second to him in the Champion Stakes. He was second to him in Epsom, in the Epsom Derby. I think he could have been second to him maybe 3 or 4 times, but See the Stars is down as one of the greatest horses of all time. And Fame and Glory was always up there playing second fiddle to him. He was a phenomenal horse, very, very honest, genuine horse. Probably one of the best Monjous that Monjou produced. He was a lovely, honest old horse. He was. And I think he might have won a Group 1 in France actually the day after, 2 weeks after I won on him, or 3 weeks after him. He went to a group race over there and won it.
Returning to Thursday, the 14th of August at Chepstow, how excited are you to be lining up in this 1-mile race?
Oh, it's been a long, long time since I've had that butterfly feeling in the bellies again. I'm like a young lad waiting on Santi to come. I actually can't wait. It's something I don't know what else, like horses just all my life, and I absolutely can't wait. I'm really, really excited. I went racing actually to the Curragh there 2 weeks ago. I haven't been at a racecourse since 2008 or 9, and I got a little bit choked up over there. We did around the weigh room, and it brought back so many good memories. And to be getting back in the saddle and to be riding the Chepstow it's a great honour.
I think you said that at the Curragh there is a sensory space for people with autism as well.
Yeah, there is. It's a phenomenal setup there. Bobby was over there earlier in the year. It's great. It's absolutely brilliant to have. I think it's the only one in Ireland that's a racecourse at the Curragh, and it's brilliant. It's great for children. They love it.
You would know how important those areas would be to the children and anyone with autism.
It was like it's until you kind of live with someone that has autism, that they have their own little set ways, and they don't like too much noise, and they have their own little ways, and it's a phenomenal facilities to have for them.
Have you got a horse lined up for the 14th?
Not that I know of. Yes, I think Bobby's working on it there. I think we're all okay though. I think to have it all sorted. So really looking forward to it. We really are.
And on the day, winning not as important as raising the money for the autism in racing.
Look, we're all winners, regardless of where you finish first or last. It's all about trying to raise as much funding as you can. And look, we're doing our best. And in the next kind of week or two, I think closest to the date, the trainers that we're riding out for and other people will just throw in a few pounds, and we'll definitely raise as much as we can. I'm going to try and organise 5k or a 10k road race here in Ireland next year for them, and to help of God, we'll raise a bit of funds that way too.
Well, best of luck with that going forward, but more importantly, best of luck on Thursday, the 14th of August at Chepstow, supporting autism in racing.
Thank you very much, Stephen. Thank you very much.
You've certainly inspired Stephen, Bobby.
Yeah, Stephen's been brilliant, to be fair, and it's great, obviously, listening to him with a variety of different reasons, really. One, his enthusiasm and the wanting to help and support, autism in racing. He's got his own personal connection as to why he wants to, ride in the race, why he wants to raise as much money as he possibly can, because he knows the end result is that he's going to be helping people who are autistic, be able to enjoy and interact with horse racing. And I know for the fact when he signed up originally, and I spoke to him, he actually said to me that he hadn't been on a horse for 6 years. He'd not been on a horse for 6 years, but this gave him like the bug and the adrenaline, if you like, to do it. And he got back on a horse, and he just, absolutely loved it. And he's been working very hard as well. He's been riding out. He's been, I do know for a fact that when he's been on holiday, he's been finding like a local like running track, and he's been like doing like laps of the track in like 30, 32 degree heat, just to get his fitness levels up and everything. But no, Stephen is a great guy. I love the statistic on the back of it as well. That is the perfect 4.4 with Aidan O'Brien, and to steer, fame and glory to his maiden success. Because I think if you look at the race as well, I don't believe that Fame and Glory was the favourite that day. I think it was another Aidan O'Brien horse that finished second, and it was Fame and Glory under a young Stephen Hunter that was victorious, really. But no, Stephen is a great guy. I love the fact as well that he's taking out his amateur riders license again to ride in amateur flat races over in Ireland. And what I can tell you also just off the back of it, I know when you spoke to Stephen, he wasn't sure which horse he'll be riding, but there was all confirmed, and I can confirm that he's going to be riding Eye of the Water, who is trained by Ron Harris. Stephen is very much aware of this now, and Stephen is currently doing all the studying. He's looking at previous races, his most recent run, and everything. And he's actually phoned Ron Harris up personally and said thank you for the ride, and them two have had a really good chat and everything. So yeah, he's riding Eye of the Water for Ron Harris.
That's good to hear. And he also mentioned that there's a sensory room at the Curragh.
Yeah, permanent sensory room. So I went over early on in the year, and I met with the Curragh, and they explained, their plans, what they wanted to do, and vice versa. I explained what we wanted to do and what we could do for Ireland, and also how we can help and support. And I was delighted that we went over again, which was on Irish 2000 Guinness Day when they officially opened the sensory room. I took my daughter Sophia with me as well, and we saw hands-on, the permanent sensory room, which is absolutely brilliant. The Curragh have done a fantastic job, and it's great to see, Ireland's first race course in the Curragh open up a permanent sensory room. And what I can tell you is that there's more on the horizon, but that's a conversation for a different day.
That's good to hear. And how can listeners support the event and help raise £30,000? There's
quite a few ways, really. You can always come on the day and see, the ex-jockeys riding. So we've got 7 riders. So obviously you already mentioned we've got Stephen Hunter, we've got Gordon Flash Power, who, if I've got this right, I believe, in the late 90s into the noughties, he was actually tipped to be, the next Irish champion jockey from Jim Bolger, I believe. But he got quite a bad injury, and unfortunately, he had to retire quite prematurely from races. So it's great to see Gordon Flash Power back in the saddle, which is absolutely brilliant. We've got Kathy Gannon. Kathy Gannon, obviously a group winning jockey over here in Britain. We've got John Kinkton as well, who retired from the jump scene last year, and the legend that is Matty Batchelor back in the saddle as well. He's going to be competing as well. They've got 2 night jockeys. We've got Megan Sheedy, who rode in a charity race at the Curragh this year. She's going over to ride, and Beth Dutton, who rides out for Harry Derham as well. So 7 riders in total, which is absolutely brilliant. If you want to help, you want to support, if you visit our social media sites, that's Facebook, X, and also Instagram. There is a link to a Just Giving page. You can either click the link or scan the QR code. But all I would say is every penny counts, and I hope we can raise as much money as we possibly can.
I hope you can. I'd forgotten that Matty Batchelor, Hennessy Gold Cup winning jockey, rode Conigry, who's also been on this podcast, is one of the jockeys.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant. Yeah, obviously he rode Carruthers to victory in what was known as the Hennessy. Then it's absolutely brilliant to get Matty. I spoke to him at Cheltenham a few months ago, and I asked him if he wanted to get involved. He said, "Yeah, absolutely. I'd love to be a part of it." So yeah, he's a good lad, Matty. You know, he's oozing with personality. Got great enthusiasm to help and support, and like it's brilliant to get a Hennessy Gold Cup winning jockey as part of the lineup.
Finally, Bobby, before a few thank yous, what are your hopes then for Thursday, the 14th of August at Chepstow?
My hopes would be that everybody who attends has the best time ever, and they all go away saying that was absolutely fantastic. And we hope to attend Chepstow again with Autism Racing in situ. And I hope we have a fantastic race in the Heroes Gallops for autism in racing, and we raise as much money as we can, because if we do, there'll only be one winner, and that is autism, and not many sports can turn around and say that.
I'd like to end by thanking Jane Buick, Luke Admans, David Lovell and Stephen Hunter. A special thanks also, Bobby, to Anna Collins, who has been helping me arrange all the guests for this podcast.
Yeah, Anna Collins, who is the director for fundraising and marketing. Anna does a lot of work behind the scenes for Autism Racing, and maybe a lot of stuff that you don't necessarily see as well. Very, very happy, lucky to have Anna working for Autism Racing, and very much look forward to seeing her on Thursday. And that she's going to be obviously helping out on the day as well, which is brilliant. And thank you to everybody who's made Thursday possible, from the organisation, organised everything for the day, but also to all the trainers and riders, and to Chepstow themselves for making this possible.
And thank you to you, Bobby, for giving up your time today, and the very best of luck for Thursday at Chepstow Racecourse, and for all you do for autism in racing.
No, my pleasure. Thank you for speaking to me today.
This podcast is part of the Sports Social Podcast Network.